Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and today on Rock Metal Podcast, we have Sense of Noise, and from what I'm told, they have a new album in the works, but in the meantime, they've got a banging single out right now called The Broken Hope. So, I've got the boys on, the important members of the band anyway. And they are here to share more about what's going on, because this single that we've got here, guys, I'm really excited about. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have you on. Anybody who has Spanish classical guitar on their wall with a cutaway, is a friend of mine. So
Cool.
Kabroom, is that guitar on the album?
Which one? That one?
Yeah, that's the only one I see on the wall anyway.
Well, it's just like for some reason technical shit in which I cannot see how wide the scope is. Yes, it's like all the guitars in here are in the album. My main guitar. This is the main guitar.
Okay, Fender.
This is the main girl.
Wow. Okay, Fender Strat. Is it American?
Yes. Yeah, custom shop.
No. It looks like a humbucker in there. Is that what that is? Is it a stacked humbucker?
It's it's one of the Seymour Duncan hot rails.
Okay.
And I set up a kill switch too, so I can do all the glitches live.
Wow. So you could match your t-shirt, you could kill switch engage.
Yeah. Will Smith engage, please.
Oh my goodness gracious, I apologize. Oh man, I should add that shirt to my collection. So many people like myself would be spoofed by it.
Yeah.
That would be fantastico. Okay. Speaking of other things that are fantastic, The Broken Hope.
Yeah.
So sad thinking about it. But
It's kind of tricky that the name is kind of like, sad or full of despair or something, but the song is like really, really into getting into some kind of hype. But we like the title. Yeah. So it works for us.
you mentioned getting into a hype, and obviously the music itself is, up there. But I'm looking at these lyrics. I can't breathe, drowning in blood and greed. It's so sad again. What's going on?
Well, yin yang, man. We gotta start sad so we can be happy.
Yeah. No light without darkness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is this song about anything? Is it autobiographical? Is it just about the times?
I would say the times. Every song that we made, it's you can talk about personal stuff. Personally, in this song, I made the lyrics based on some things that I have go through my life, and but I don't know. I really like to people and all the fans to make their own story about the lyrics.
Okay. It really seems like I could ascribe anything in my life to this. And then we get to the part about the oath, a forgotten oath, my broken hope, where I immediately then go, ooh, dígame por favor, señor. What is this oath? This is some serious stuff here.
I think most metal lyrics at some point it's between like, oh, let's make something that sounds like really, really cool and dark. But at the same time, we were talking about like promises that you keep, like that you make to yourself, like that you're like, oh, I'm gonna definitely like do this, like kind of like New Year's resolutions, and then you stop going to the gym January 15th, like those kind of things in which like you make promises to yourself, and then like for whatever reason you're not able to fulfill them.
That's some pretty heavy stuff for somebody who signed up for a gym membership and then just stopped going.
I care deeply about my body.
Yeah, you're doing the green drink for like 3 or 4 days. You're like, yeah, I'm so proud of myself. You're in the office. You're telling people, like, yeah, no, I'm going to do this like 40-day challenge. And I got this app. I'm gonna do this thing. It's
no, my phone's telling me to delete it because it's been weeks.
Yeah, it's linked to my Fitbit, which is linked to my iWatch, which is linked to my
To my broken hope.
Okay, now something else that I thought was absolutely incredible was Fascination Street Studios. You guys had them master, specifically Tony, over at Fascination Street Studios. And I guess my big question is why? And I know that's kind of a simple question, but why have Fascination Street Studios do the mastering? Why not have them do the mixing too?
Well, the thing is, as being the guy that mixed it, it's very hard for me to to give mixing indications when I produce the stuff, because I already know how I want the levels, how I want the guitar tone to sound, what drum samples I want to use and all that. So I think it would have been a very complicated thing when it's distance wise and we haven't worked with them first and we're just discovering the sound on our own. But at the same time, the reason why it was very important to have somebody else master it was so that we could get feedback from the best people in that particular genre, and have Tony be like, all right, well, you know what, turn this up, this is a little harsh, you can do this and that. And that, I think, is the biggest takeaway from it, that we can still be artistic with it, but we have somebody keep us in check so that we put out something that sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Did that happen? Did Tony come back and give you some notes, or did you just kick back a master?
He gave us back a master first, and then was just so we can kind of have a listen to it, and we loved it, and then it was all right, man, just tear the mix apart, tell us what's wrong with it, and everybody in audio loves to be a critic. So I mean, he was very nice and he was very objective, and that just helps, just being okay, I'm very confident about my mixing and mastering skills, but we need this to be the best that we can. Mm-hmm. So that's why we did that, and just send that, shut up, listen to the recommendations, do them, and it literally changed everything. It was 5 notes, and I was oh, turn up the cymbals here. Oh, this kit can do this and that. And then I was all right, let me just do it. I didn't even listen to it. I just kind of did what I read. Then I pressed play, and I was holy crap, this guy is right. So, and then it was just perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. So then did you send him a new bounce to master after that?
Yes, exactly. And that's what we have streaming and on YouTube right now.
I like the gusto with which you said that.
I am very gustacious when it comes to my work.
That's what we have streaming right now on YouTube.
Well, you gotta plug in everything with the radio voice of K95 555.
This Sunday. Ese domingo.
Sábado gigante.
Hoi. Sweet. You guys should have had that guy in there somewhere, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Well, the album's not out yet. We still have a few featuring spots. We can work.
We might do it.
Let's have my people talk to your people. Let's see what we can do.
Yes. Beautiful. Okay, so then, how do I say your studio name? Fede d'Ampere?
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Take us through what I guess your intention was then. And you did the recording, engineering, producing, mixing, chose the samples, the guitar tones. I mean, it sounds fantastic. So I guess take us through.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, take us through this. What went into it? What was your guys' intention, or your intention?
In terms of what? Just the sound overall, or do you mean kind of artistically?
I guess both, because when you're looking at, just say for example, you're looking at, I don't know, like a Line 6 Helix and a sample pack from Steven Slate.
Okay.
Anything could happen. You've got a Fender Stratocaster. John Mayer could have come out of the speakers.
Right. Well, the thing is, okay, so when I started, all right, let me start with the guitar. So when I started doing metal, I first had my Jackson, which I love, but then I got the Fender because I also produce a lot of pop. I love, like playing rock and other genres, and, just the Fender, like the Stratocaster just makes sense for all that. But I really love the sound of it. And then I was like, well, how about I just swap out the pickup? I put some hot rails in it, and then I just play metal with it. And that was about 4 years ago, and I just love the way it sounds. So I just never turned back. And for me, it's kind of like my signature sound. It's just like the Stratocaster with the hot rails, not necessarily like a big-ass humbucker. And then after that, I started using Line 6. Like, there's some metal packs there, but I always mix it up. Like, I'll use cabs from Guitar Rig or other like IRs that I can find, and it's just like literally it was just trial and error. And I like mixing a bunch of amps. Sorry, it's all amp sims. So. But, I mean, I experimented enough with it so that it sounds as, real as possible. And I think the Fender is what makes it sound not, like, digital, I guess. And then, just, like, I really love the way it sounds. And everybody here also has told me that they really love the guitar tone. So that's how that started. And then with the drums, it was... same thing, trial and error. I have a bunch of different rock and metal packs that I've gathered over the years, and it was just like, all right, how do we make this the best sound possible without having to go into like a very expensive studio and recording drums and then sample replacing them and this and that. So it was just like, all right, how do we do this? And also, without just programming the drums and, but having our drummer sound like a drummer, and it was, we did a bunch of things. We sampled some stuff. We recorded cymbals here at the space that you see. We just kind of treated it a little bit. And then, like, that was it. It was just like, we're still finding our sounds, but it was just a lot of trial and error, basically. We just took the time to make sure that whatever we did sounded right. And, it wasn't just like, oh, this is the way that so-and-so does it, and, and now you're screwed because this is what you recorded. So it was more like, does this work? Okay, no. And we spent like a whole day setting up the kit, and we're going to do everything that same day, but we're like, you know what? We're exhausted, and we just finally got the sound that we wanted, so let's just do it tomorrow. And having that liberty also helped us to find that sound. And, it was mix after mix after mix after mix until these guys were like, dude, stop mixing it. It sounds great. Just leave it there. It's fine. And I was like, hell no. Like, it still does the little guitar thing. And it was that. Just trial and error and just trying to be as perfectly artistic as possible without going overboard or over mixing or adding too many details, and just collaborating, making sure everybody gives something to it and not knock down any ideas. Because everything added up, like everything was positive to it. Even just like you know what, I don't know why I don't like this, and it was like, let me see what I can do, and then some cooler came up, like just even if it was just like a little change in the guitar riff or whatnot. And I think that pretty much sums up the process in which we crafted our sound.
Yeah. So I guess what I was looking for in there, I did hear, which is, well, basically, I mean, minus searching for guitar tones and snare samples, what you're hearing is us.
Exactly. we made sure that everything, like, you know, from the bass solo right before the first chorus, and it was just like, even from that, and just making sure that, you know, the keyboards had a certain timbre to it and weren't just like a piano or like a shitty synth or whatever. It was just like actually something that we took the time to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is something that makes us sound like us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby. I'm on Seymour Duncan's website right now looking at some Hot Rails Strat. Yeah, don't underestimate the power of... the Stratocaster's been around for longer than any of us have been alive for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it gets a bad name in metal for some strange reason, but, I mean, Yngwie used it. Lots of people use it stock out of the box. You know, so...
Dave Murray.
Yeah. Eddie Van Halen before he went over to Music Man and then eventually PV, and I don't know where he is now, but aside from deceased, but I mean, you know... lo siento. Ay, Dios mío. So, but yeah, can totally do that. And a lot of metal guitars are based off of Strats anyway. The Ibanez RG, that's a Strat. Jackson Dinky, that's a Strat.
That's what I got with the inverted headstock.
There you go. Nothing gets more metal than when you reverse a headstock on a Strat.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So is the album written? You guys are sitting on a can. Tony has told you where to put your cymbals on everything. You're ready to go. You're just waiting. You're holding off. You're edging. You know, it's like tantric album release.
Yeah. Yes and no. We're still making sure that all the tracks sound the best as possible. We definitely invested a very good amount of time on these on this single and the next one that is about to come out. Can't say when yet because, you know, we like to be mysterious and shit. But
Misterioso, Señor Misterioso.
But it was more like we're just trying to serve the song. We're just trying to make tunes that are something that we're like. And like I said, all my clients and as a producer and everybody that I've worked with, it's just like, dude, make the song that you want to listen to. Don't just do whatever comes out of you. If whatever comes, like, you know, if not, everybody would be a best-selling whatever. It's just like try to make sure that you make the thing that you would like that you'd be like, oh, I would love if Soilwork worked with Michael Jackson, and then you make like a dance whatever, but that's your shit. And maybe it sounds great. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't know. But at the same time, it's that. And we're just making sure that that's what it is. That we're making tunes that we can just be like, dude, we're proud of this. And this sounds awesome. And I will listen to it even if it wasn't ours. But, you know, you got to be objective and you got to be self-critical. And that's why being the five of us and just making sure everybody can, you know, pitch in and just like make sure that we're objective and, you know, what's the word? Like, we try to inspire each other, you know, like, the last filter is me, you know, like, I'm the one that, like, shows, like, oh, hey, this is what, you know, this idea turned out to be. But, you know, if the guys don't like it, then, you know, we still have to work on it, even if I absolutely love it. You know, we got to make sure that this is something that we're all on board with.
Now I just want to hear Bjorn from Soilwork sing Billie Jean.
Yeah,
never say never.
Yeah, we can try to make a cover, maybe.
Maybe.
Sounds like a good idea.
We can give him, see if he answers.
Cool. I've heard attempts come through my inbox of metal bands trying to cover Billie Jean. A lot of them suck.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's and the funny thing is, it's not even like the greatest recording in the world, but there's something about the energy that is on that tape that is so hard to do.
Yeah, dude, it's just like everybody who does an AC/DC cover. It's just like, it's not the same. Mm-mm. Like, the songs may be simple or whatever, but like I used to be like, what, you know, like, I didn't really care much for AC/DC until I started hearing covers, and then I was like, oh shit, now I get it. Now I definitely get it, and now I do, you know, now for me, it's one of my favorite bands. Yeah. I mean, personally.
Yeah. Well, I might be aging myself with this one, but driving by, a garage band practicing, and you hear them working on "Walk" by Pantera, and you just have a good giggle and move on your way. How hard is that one until you hear a band try to cover it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Boom. All right, boys, we've chatted about Seymour Duncan pickups, Fender guitars, John Mayer, Soilwork, Michael Jackson, Soilwork singing Michael Jackson, the Broken Hope, Tony Lindgren, moving cymbals up a little bit. We talked about sample packs. We talked about Line 6. We talked about Guitar Rig, which I believe is Waves, right?
No, that's Native Instruments.
Okay. I apologize. I've offended you.
Yes, deeply. Goodbye.
We chatted about missing bass players, and
Yep.
it's okay. He didn't matter anyway. He's probably not even on the record. And oh man.
Well, actually, in the song, the bass player have his own solo just before the chorus. So
we made sure
We respect the bass
Yeah.
players.
any liabilities,
Yeah.
we got it.
And actually, Diego, the bass player, is an amazing musician. So
yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, he's
we need
he's the
to-
best.
Yeah,
he's the best, and he's hilarious as hell.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, here's to Diego then. Diego.
Diego.
And beautiful. That's all my questions. So, boys, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Oh, thank you for having us, dude.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
very much.
Hello, hello, or should I say goodbye, goodbye? Thank you so much for listening to the Rock Metal Podcast. I've been your host, John Harris. Please head over to our website at www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. There you can sign up for our newsletter and find out more information about today's show.